Welcome to the highly anticipated second season of Caribbean Medical TV, the first and only medical TV series that showcases the Caribbean and the emerging issues on all health and wellness forums in our region. Like season 1, the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional doctors and medical experts forged the basis of the show. This season, we take the first groundbreaking original show even further. This series aims to empower our people with knowledge, from ways of detecting to ways of healing ourselves, protecting citizens with chronic diseases from COVID-19, while showing how they can manage their conditions effectively and safely receive needed health care while preserving what constitutes the very core of our Caribbean culture, its predilection for flavor, spirit, and rhythm. This is truly a holistic wellness agenda for our Caribbean people.
Good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to this segment of Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Thursday, the 6th day of April in the year 2023. And if it's your first time joining us, well, welcome. You know, you've made a great choice, a classic choice. It's now time for the word for the day. And of course, we always give you that something to improve on your vocabulary, your word power. And that will assist in making your writing and your speech more decorative. Yeah. And this morning, the word of the day is the word seder. S-E-D-E-R. All right. And seder is a service held in a Jewish home or community that includes a ceremonial dinner, and that is held on the first evening or first and second evenings of Passover in commemoration of the Exodus from Egypt. Yeah? And the word Seder is a noun, right? Seder, it's a noun. Okay, and here's how we can use that word. Ari enjoys the stories, songs, and rituals that accompany dinner on the night of the Seder. Write it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it, and most importantly, learn to use it in your writing or your speech. And now let's look at the thought of the day. The thought of the day today is: discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishment. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements. Again, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements. That was your thought of the day. I'd like to say good morning to Mr. Albert and your wife out there in Lamode in St. George. How you doing? Wifey on vacation, all right? So you're heading to the beach today or to the gardens? Which one? Yeah, bring her up. Let her do some planting and stuff, man. Nice. The folks on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Pidi Martinique, good morning to you. How are you this morning? The village of Samaritan in St. Mark, good morning. How's Samaritan doing today? Nice. Okay, so what's buzzing this morning? The move towards adjusting the Wage Advisory Committee considers the poverty level within the country and ensures that some business operators do not take advantage of unsuspecting people. It is with this in mind that the price control unit is being looked at. So the spotlight is now going to be placed on the price control unit. That's within the Ministry of Finance, right? To look at things like price gouging and things like that, you know. You go to one shop and the exact same commodity has a different price to the shop next door or lower down the road. Why? So the price control unit will be activated or, you know, be more active, yeah, to ensure that prices are kept at a standard, except on commodities where there's no price control, you know? Yeah. All right, St. Andrew's a resident charged with capital murder, and he was remanded. Live on date, a 33-year-old unemployed of Griffith Lane in St. Andrew. He was arrested and charged by members of the Criminal Investigation Department with capital murder in connection with the death of Wayne Smart. Mr. Smart was a Canadian citizen who had been residing in Grenada and was reported missing in December of 2022. Now, a police investigation was launched and had been ongoing. On Friday, March 31st, 2023, Mr. Date led the police to an area on the beach front of River Sally St. Patrick, where the police recovered what appeared to be burnt human remains, believed to be the remains of Mr. Smart. Mr. Date made his first court appearance yesterday at the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court and was remanded to His Majesty's prisons. He will make his next court appearance at the Sauteurs Magistrates Court on April 25th. Oh, man, goodness, man. Why? Huh? Also buzzing this morning, one missing child is too many. And it is said that it takes a community to grow a child. And in times of distress, the public is the eyes and ears to find missing children. Well, that missing child was found, okay? Also buzzing this morning, the T.A. Marisho Community College received the competition prize for Best Academic Institution at the Antigua and Barbuda National Mooting Association's Fortis Advocatus Moot Court competition. The prize is reserved for the academic institution that performed the best in the written memorial and oral advocacy portions of the competition. The college was represented at the semifinals of the competition, which was held on March 31, 2023 in Antigua and Barbuda by Gariel Walters and Charissa Hippolyte, coached by Mr. Kadeem Strawn of Mitchell and Company and Jada Glynn and Fidel Stewart, coached by Miss Danish Harford of Siboney Chambers. TAMCC extends congratulations to all the students who participated and urges them to continue pursuing opportunities that will allow them to grow and develop as individuals. Now, these are the stories that are buzzing this morning. I would like to look at the price control unit story and any of the other topics. You know how we roll. Should be having a guest this morning, so on the flip side of the guest, we will entertain the conversation. An apology to the folks who usually logged on to our Facebook page and communicate there. We're experiencing a technical difficulty with that page this morning. We will be working on it and hope to get it up and running at the earliest convenience. So stick and stay with us. Quickly, let's go back. The word of the day, the word Seder, and it is a service held in a Jewish home or community that includes a ceremonial dinner, and that is held on the first evening or the first and second evenings of the Passover in commemoration of the Exodus from Egypt. And the thought of the day: discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements. Those of you on the television platform, upcoming, you've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. But those of us here on Classic, we've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the weather forthcoming. So stick and stay with us. Don't you go anywhere.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The RGPF has made a major breakthrough in the case of missing Canadian national Wayne Smart. Smart has been mysteriously missing since last December. A 33-year-old man from Griffin Lane in Grenville, St. Andrew, has been implicated in Smart's death and made his first court appearance this morning. Nisha Paul starts tonight's newscast.
Slapped with a capital murder charge, Lydon Date made his first appearance in the matter before Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis at the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court. The unemployed murder suspect was arrested and charged following intensive police investigations into the disappearance of the now deceased man approximately 4 months ago. Last Friday, Date led police to an area on the beachfront in River Sally, St. Patrick, where burnt remains believed to be human were discovered. The remains are believed to be the remains of Wayne Smart. Assistant Commissioner of Police responsible for crimes, Vanny Cohen, commented on the breakthrough in the case in an interview with reporters following Wednesday morning's arraignment of the murder suspect.
The fact that somebody on the soil in Grenada is missing for so long kind of raises some concerns. So we've never given up on this. And we got a fortunate break in this case. I don't want to delve into, what prompted that or where it came from. It led us to witnessing some videos. We pointed to a particular location which we visited. We recovered some items there that are now being considered for forensic examination. Even without the forensic evidence, though, we are hopeful that we do have the right suspect in custody.
ACP Cohen was not in possession that Smart's death was a contract killing. Can you confirm reports that this was a contract hit?
This will be delving into the evidential aspect of the matter. I do not want to try this case in the public domain. I would give the court an opportunity to hear the evidence. But what I can say is that there might be some sort of conspiracy. That's as far as I'm willing to go here. Whether or not it's contract killing, I don't want to delve into that aspect of it. That will come out in due time.
The murder suspect was not represented by legal counsel and appeared calm and composed as he was being escorted to and from the courthouse under heavy police presence. The matter has been adjourned to April 24th and deferred to the Satez Magistrates Court in the northern St. Patrick district, where Smart's killing is alleged to have occurred sometime between December 2022 and March of Amnesia Paul.
Vincentian national Elton Andrew made his first court appearance at the St. George's Magistrates Court today. He was slapped with the charge of non-capital murder in the death of St. John's resident Jonathan Richards. Rena Pierre-Thomas was at the court today and filed this brief.
Elton Elliston Andrew, the Vincentian man accused of killing Guave resident 30-year-old Jonathan Richards, also known as Not Nice of River Lane, Guave, St. John, made his first court appearance at the St. George Magistrates Court on Wednesday morning. Andrew, who stood before Magistrate Teddy St. Louis, charged with non-capital murder and was unable to apply for bail as his case is an indictable one. ACP Vanny Cohen, in speaking to the media, says that he is confident they have a strong case to prosecute the accused.
Lucky for us, we were able to make an arrest and charge somebody for that incident. And as you witnessed this morning, that's the arraignment of the defendant in court. So going forward is the prosecution, and we are hopeful. We think our case is very strong. I cannot speak to the evidence of the matter as is expected, but I believe at the end of the day, when the dust is settled, we are more than hopeful that we'll have a conviction in this matter.
The ranking officer says that they are very much concerned with illegal immigrants involved in criminal activities on the island.
People come and people go. The good thing about us is that if you come illegally and commit a crime, chances of getting out become a little bit slimmer, as we've seen here. Vincentian on our soil now being charged for murder. He came in however he come in, but he's not going out, has been accused now of committing a crime. So the question that you ask is, how concerned are we? We are very concerned, as so all of the islands in the sub-region should be, because we don't have the kind of, we're not part of a continent, if you understand what I mean. We're an island nation, and so you can come from any angle. Many of the bays and creeks and inlets will let you into Grenada.
He says that the Royal Grenada Police Force has been working steadfastly to address the issue and will soon be equipped with the relevant tools to do so.
And in yet other court news, a St. Andrew man will know his fate on Thursday after pleading guilty to the offense of non-capital murder. His attorney is hopeful his mental capacity will play a role in the sentencing. Nisha Paul has been following that story.
Kelly Daniel was 27 years old when he was arrested and charged with the offense of non-capital murder. The charge was in connection with the death of 79-year-old Guyanese national John Merchant, who resided at Pearls St. Andrew for several years. In what was the first homicide recorded in 2022, the dismembered parts of Merchant's body were reportedly recovered floating in buckets in the nearby Dunfermline River. Attorney Jerry Jerry Edwin is providing legal counsel for Daniel. He noted that his client, who has a mental history, was evaluated by 2 psychiatrists ahead of sentencing, which was carded for Tuesday at the St. George's No. 1 High Court, but was deferred to Thursday.
Kelly explained that in a fit of anger, he committed the offense. There's a psychiatrist who said that Kelly had a bout of mental illness. That is, he had one episode when he lost his faculties. There's another psychiatrist who disagrees.
Edwin had previously argued that his client was unfit for trial based on his mental history.
I pleaded with the court for a hearing to determine whether Kelly was fit to plea. Well, my client said that he is fine. He wants to proceed with the sentence of the court. I've asked the judge, who was ready to sentence today, to allow me some additional time so I could prepare some more submissions. Yeah, I will focus on diminished capacity. And I agree with the psychiatrist, Dr. Burkhardt, that there was in that moment when the offense was committed a lack of capacity to discern certain aspects of what we might call normal life. So I want to look at some cases because I think that will assist the court.
The offense of non-capital murder carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
One missing child is one too many. And that's why it's said that it takes community to grow a child. And especially in times of distress, the public, our communities, provide the eyes and ears to help find missing children. And that was exactly the case in this missing child report, which was highlighted in Monday's Beyond the Headlines. Nisha Peters will tell us more.
We're appealing to members of the public. We still have one case that is outstanding, and we are praying that with the help of the public, by the grace of God, that we find that missing child soon.
That was Inspector Maureen John from the Special Victims Unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force. On Monday's Beyond the Headlines, she made an appeal to the public to assist in finding a missing child. Today, family members of the missing child of over a week is elated to have their loved one home. In conveying the message of the good news, Inspector John says that the teenager appears to be in good health and trusts that she will get the psychosocial and other necessary help that she may need. Inspector John, while on Beyond the Headlines, had indicated that there were difficulties in the case which made it difficult for them to divulge information. She noted in such cases they look to the public for assistance.
As with every case of a missing person, we need information. So as much information as we can garner, we do that from the person who is making the report, because usually that's how it comes in. So information is important, including information on where do you believe that person might have gone. Using that information, we're thankful for social media, which helps us in a big way. We're able to post information onto social media. In times before, it used to be just like the regular media platforms like the radio stations, etc. But now with social media, we're able to reach a bigger audience in a quicker space of time. So we're able to use these mediums to post information, we get assistance, we get information, we're able to act on that information to locate the person as quickly as possible.
The Special Victims Unit officer calls on the public to be more mindful of such situations when a report is made regarding missing children.
Instead of making a joke of it, or instead of cyberbullying, instead of making that particular child feel as though, they're the scourge of society because of their actions. And I like to say, if you don't know the story, then don't say anything, because you just might be hurting somebody more than they're already hurting.
Grenada lacks legislation that specifically addresses the issue of missing children. However, the country has legislation relating to child abandonment, kidnapping, child stealing, and prosecution of minors. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
Youth Minister Ron Redhead is encouraging the 400 young men in the latest cohort of the Empower program to use the training towards eliminating social ills. He addressed the participants at the recently hosted Empower quarterly meeting. Details in this report.
The one-year program was created to provide young men between the ages 18 to 35 with opportunities towards self-empowerment, holistic development, skills, certification, and employment. The 3.0 cohort of the program engaged 400 young men, including 25 inmates at His Majesty's Prison. Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Ron Redhead, in addressing the young men, shared his life story and encouraged those present to use the training as a stepping stone towards breaking the cycle of poverty and social ills.
You must tell yourself, don't let anybody take you for a ride. You have to get serious. Don't let people believe that they can judge you on the basis as how you are dressed. Don't let people try to judge you and feel that you cannot do anything. So you must empower your mind before you empower yourself.
Participants engaged in the program will acquire life skills, direct skills, and core developmental training. Before they depart from the program, the young men were also lectured on men's health, a session facilitated by Dr. Francis Martin. Successful participants of the program will benefit from a grant fund to start up their own businesses. Some of the men shared their journey and plans for the grant fund.
I'm in the general technical construction field, and I'm planning to extend my carpentry. Yes, I'm really good in the carpentry department, so I will take the phone and get more tools.
I'm looking to buy my tools and start my business, or I work for somebody, and then when I see the way, I move out. Finishing the course which I'm under, excavator operator, and after that, then I would look to be employed maybe with either one of the companies, maybe gravel and concrete, or a construction company.
The guy living in going back, my plan was like to open my business, like do the same bartending, because that's the course I do, mixed drink.
Plan is to be in a company or have my own business as a young man growing up. So in life to come, I could encourage young ones to join me, so I go teach them.
What area you pursued?
Plumbing.
An official graduation ceremony will be held in May to end the cycle of the program. The Empower program is fully funded by the government of Grenada with the aim of transforming lives, strengthening communities, and influencing change. For the Government Information Service, I am Eugenia Peters.
On the Sister Isles, excitement is brewing as the Karaoke Maroon and String Band Music Festival gets closer. Organizers say the stage is set for an exciting event. Mina Pierre-Thomas has been following preparations.
Plans are well on the way for the celebration that surrounds Carriacou's rich African roots, the Carriacou Maroon and String Band Music Festival. The festivities kick off on Friday, April 28th, and this year the Maroon Village is being reintroduced as part of the 3 days of cultural activities. Andy Matheson is the coordinator at the Cultural Secretariat on the Sister Isle.
Well, plans are going good so far. The committee have met. I'm coordinating, working with the festival committee to ensure that things are in place. And we have met a couple of times to ensure that the plans we are putting in place is going to be executed properly. One of our major challenges initially is that we want to revive a village maroon. And we thought about the Bialo Big Pond Maroon, which was one of what we understand, one of the biggest maroon in Carriacou over the years. But since the incident with the last maroon there, we thought it was wise to go to the village and talk to the villagers and get their feedback of how they feel having the maroon back. And we did that, and the overwhelming response is positive. So the maroon, the Friday, would be a village maroon at Bialo Big Pond. The Bel Park is in a state of disrepair, so we had some major repairs has to be done there. And the time remaining between now and the festival, it wouldn't be sufficient time to do the work that's necessary. And added to that, the Bel Road, which is the main road to the area, is recently gone under construction by the Ministry of Carriacou and Diplomatic Affairs. So that will hinder traffic into and out of Bel for that area.
Matheson says the Maroon Village will be held on the first day of the event. He highlighted other activities planned for the festival.
We're going to expect the traditional maroon, where from the morning, the wet the ground, the shell blow, libation to, let's say, call on the ancestors, then the lighting of the fires, wetting the stones, putting the pot on the fire and cooking the food. At the end of the cooked food, they'll be sharing the food to everybody is welcome to participate in sharing the food. So that will happen from about 3:30 food we start sharing to about, well, till it's all over. And at the end of that, we're going to have a Masanto Flambeau parade into the area, the Big Pond area. They will have the drumming and the official ceremony to open the Carriacou Maroon 2023 festival. So we're going to have the event here this Saturday night at the Botanical Gardens, where we're going to have a number of local, I would say regional, cultural groups and bands. We have featuring that night the band Solid from Grenada and Sabrina Francis, with a number of other local bands and cultural groups, the Shakespeare Mars, the Big Drum, Tivoli Drummers, Conception Dancers, and a lot of other groups and individuals who participate in that day to ensure to showcase the culture of Carriacou.
This year, Hillsborough will serve as the venue for Saturday's activities, split between Hillsborough Square and the Botanical Gardens. Paradise Beach will host the third and final day of the festival, Family Day. It will feature string band performance, children events, and swimming races.
Well, this Saturday, we have two events on the Saturday. The first event in the morning is Strings in the City, and Strings in the City has become a flagship event of the Carriacou Maroon, where you have strings downtown Hillsborough, where persons can come, participate, enjoy the string music. But this year we're also incorporating part of our traditional culture to see how the string ties into the other aspects of our culture. So we have a traditional meeting up where the cape and flag dancing. Our friends from Pitty will be joining us, and our friends from the southern side will be joining us to ensure that this tradition of Carriacou is showcased, and it is showcased with the strings. And after that, we have a surprise group, a string group will be playing to entertain us for most of the morning into the early afternoon.
The coordinator is encouraging everyone to come out and support the event, which could not be hosted for 2 years as a result of COVID-19. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Cadets have been getting hands-on experience in agriculture, and tonight's ISAW reporter captured the youngsters in action as they celebrate Cadet Week.
Highlighted in tonight's ISAW are cadets of the Grenada Cadet Corps as part of their Cadets Week. The beginning of Cadets Week started with cadets from the 3 zones, A, B, and C, out at different churches. Zones A, B, and C will be having a week of different activities from the 2nd to the 8th of April. Captured here are some Zone C cadets as they began 2 days of community service on Monday. They teamed up with the Ministry of Forestry, collecting seedlings to be planted in different locations in Grenada. A cadet is an officer trainee or candidate. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Grenada, after 10 years.
Hey, Grenada, this is Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and get this, I am coming to the land of spice.
The multi-award-winning Pastor Donnie McClurkin is back live at the Grenada National Stadium for one night of praise and worship, where your hearts will be lifted heavenward, joined by some of Grenada's finest gospel talent, Lexton Mitchell, Edson Mitchell, Ajabo, Spice Worship Ministry, Nicole Fletcher Newton and Company, Patrick Grace, and the PBC Choir. Tickets are on sale now, $50, and can be found at all major ticket outlets and at your local churches. Don't miss this unique experience with classic songs like Stand, We Fall Down, Caribbean Medley, Great Is Your Mercy, and many more. Friday, 7th April 2023 at 7 p.m.
Got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I want to see my Jesus someday.
Grenadians WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro. Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
Are you or your organization interested in becoming an environmental protection and conservation volunteer? Well, this is your opportunity to serve. The Grenada Sustainable Development Trust Fund invites you and your organization to the launch of its Ecosystems Conservation Volunteer Program on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023 at the Grenada Trade Center Annex from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Keynote speaker, Mr. Van Burn Harry, CEO of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Conservation Fund. He will share the experience of SVG and how their program has helped to revolutionize efforts there. Come hear more on how you can become involved in this great initiative and pledge your participation by registering to become a volunteer. For more information, call telephone number 459-9402 or 410-1682 or email us at info@gsdtf.org or ceo@gsdtf.org. The Grenada Sustainable Development Trust Fund looks forward to partnering with you.
We are feeling the strains of high prices, low economic growth, too much debt, reduced investments, and global tensions. The world is confronting what economists have now dubbed poly or many crises, not seen in decades. So, what are our leaders doing? And what can we do? Find out on the Caribbean Economic Forum on Managing Caribbean Economies in an Era of Many Crises with Gervais Warner, Dr. Kevin Greenwich, and Geneva Oliveri.
Caribbean Economic Forum, this Sunday at 5 p.m. on GBN television channels 7 and 11. GBN, keeping you informed with global issues, anywhere and everywhere.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
Welcome to the highly anticipated second season of Caribbean Medical TV, the first and only medical TV series that showcases the Caribbean and the emerging issues on all health and wellness forums in our region. Like season 1, the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional doctors and medical experts forged the basis of the show. This season, we take the first groundbreaking original show even further. This series aims to empower our people with knowledge, from ways of detecting to ways of healing ourselves, protecting citizens with chronic diseases from COVID-19, while showing how they can manage their conditions effectively and safely receive needed health care while preserving what constitutes the very core of our Caribbean culture, its predilection for flavor, spirit, and rhythm. This is truly a holistic wellness agenda for our Caribbean people.
Then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Vaccines protect you and they protect me. Getting vaccinated is one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself and your family safe and healthy. Once enough people are immunized, opportunities for an outbreak of disease becomes very low. And if we all choose to get vaccinated, we contribute in getting back to spending quality time with our loved ones in a safe way. Choose to get vaccinated. Vaccines bring us closer.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7. GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Wait to see my granddaughter.
So cute.
Some girls need to get the ice check.
I can hear you know. You just judged that all the girls checking him out and that gorgeous me ain't checking her for you.
Seriously though, Sasha gotta watch how she pushing out herself with some of those boys, cause you don't know when they're taking out one go for a free kick, if you know what I mean.
Isn't that what all girls want? I touch you, you touch me. You feel me?
So many things were so not right about that. Let's talk about this. What's wrong with this picture? Could Corey's actions be considered as sexual abuse or molestation? Guys, you gotta realize that sexual abuse can take many forms. What is child sexual abuse? If an older or more knowledgeable child or adult stranger, sibling, parent or caretaker in position of authority, like a coach or teacher, asks to see or touch your private parts, forces you to see or touch theirs, forces you to have sex with them or others, or deliberately lets you hear or look at sexual acts live or as porn on a TV, computer, mobile phone, or in a book or magazine, you are being sexually abused. If this ever happens to you, say no. Get away from the person you think is abusing you and tell someone whom you trust. It could be your coach, PE teacher, guidance counselor, school principal, or your parent or guardian at home.
All right, good morning, viewers and listeners. It's 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and as I stated earlier, we are supposed to be having a conversation with Miss Shirma Wells, the CEO of Vidscope. We're experiencing a slight technical glitch, and our technicians are working on it as we speak. But in the interim, what I would do, I will not miss a moment to converse with you. So we'll start the conversation, we'll engage, and as soon as we have the problem rectified, we'll hopefully go over to Miss Wells. So quickly, let's just go this over. The word of the day. The word of the day today was the word Seder. And it is a service held in a Jewish home, a community that includes a ceremonial dinner, and that is held on the first evening or the first and second evenings of Passover in commemoration of the Exodus from Egypt. All right, and the thought of the day: discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishments. It transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary achievements. We have a caller on the line as we speak. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent, and how you do?
I am alive and thankful. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Mr. Innocent, I'm troubled. Now, 2 points I want to make. Now, I must say, the Royal Grenada Police Service doing a very good job of finding criminal and so on. But my problem is, after they work so hard, the lawyers and whatever come in and set the people free, giving them slap left and right. I want to point out the murder that took place, the young lady, 16-year-old, the bus driver, and the murderer. The murderer sentence is a slap in the face to all of us women and who have children and grandchildren. The bus driver, after I listened to the testimony and after I listened to Mr. Jerry Edwin, when he says the girl pleaded for the driver to take her home, and the guy was beating her up on the bus. Now, when we enter a bus or private vehicle, public vehicle, they're responsible for us. And the bus driver should have drive them to the police station when he was beating up the girl on the bus. If he was afraid and he was forced to drop them off because he was afraid, I just assuming, of the guy, he could have go to the police station and reported it. He failed to do that. And even when the young lady, she was missing in the early stage, in my understanding, he still didn't come out and say anything. I think that bus driver should have been charged and take away his license, and he shouldn't be dealing with the public.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yes, so this is my opinion on this thing. We take, now, innocent, I know, I understand. I'm not a teenager anymore, but I'm dealing with teenagers. And I know they're very hard and difficult to deal with, both boys and girls. But at the same time, you don't have to treat them as animals. Sometimes they behave in a way that, you know, like you think they behave like animals.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, and I want to plead to young girls out there. Please, innocent, I don't know how to put it. Please, both boys and girls, but I want to speak directly to the young ladies. Wait, take your time. It might be situation, maybe poverty, maybe disobedient, maybe rebellious, maybe, I don't know what it might be in the house. But there is a other way, there must be a other way than going and get yourself involved sexually with these boys and them boys calling sex love. Sex is not love. And when you grow up, you go realize that. Okay. Go to school, get your education. Everybody may not be a lawyer and a doctor or be Mr. Innocent. But you apply yourself in something, raise your head, keep your head above the water, no man.
Okay.
Wait.
All right, caller.
Okay. Innocent,
yes.
have a nice
Thanks.
day.
You too. Okay, bye-bye. All right. 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. That was a passionate call. All right. Yeah, one of the stories that, well, we could talk about that as well, you know. That's a good intro. But what the issue of the price control unit being looked at with the wage, minimum wage committee and so forth, all these things, that's something that I would have liked to talk about as well. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Innocent. Good morning to your listeners. I think I can see this morning. Viewers too?
Yes, you can.
Anyway, if the viewers look, if the viewers are on, then good morning to you too. I will sort of build on what the lady said, not in the content, but in terms of how we respond to the emergent situation, and also what the police, I think, the police that was featured on the news this morning that said we need to have a holistic approach to issue of violence in school.
Yeah, Assistant Commissioner Vanny Corwin.
Yeah, I agree with him, but very often when we say things, I don't mean him. We mean different things. At the beginning of the year, the Honorable Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, in responding to a question I asked about the role of community development in the issue of even assisting the situation as far as the decadence in Grenada, he did say, as part of his government moved on that very day, they had appointed 16 community liaison personnel. Now, we need to find out who are those personnel, because, we need more community emphasis, because we talking all all those platitudes and so on about people need to do this and that. If there's no sense of community, if people don't understand that they are connected and they have a responsibility not only to the family, but to the rest of the people around them, then we'll continue to be like that. Additionally, we have to curtail the reckless advertisement and programs they have, because it does not encourage nonviolence. Most of the programs, by and large, encourage selfishness, greed, individualism, and so we'll be spinning top in mud. Now, I know after time, and I don't want to tell me I need to wrap up.
Yes.
But what we need to have is a really national conversation. Unfortunately, when some of us who have some ideas and have a willingness to support those things, we are isolated. And I go back to that webinar we had in Friends of the Earth, Grenada had in January, which was, Dr. Velva Bowles of Louisiana said, this is outstanding. We are ahead of the rest the rest in the Caribbean. Okay. And yet, all right. Although GBN and MTV initially had expressed interest, they abandoned us. So, and the program, I've offered the program on behalf of my organization. It's there. You can use some of it, element of it, for educating the public. It's real. It had all kind of people, experts on it. And so we could utilize that instead of grumbling at each other when something happened. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. It's 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. We take a commercial break, and when we come back, we seem to have the problem resolved, so we will hopefully get on to Miss Wells.
On Saturday.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
On Saturday, April 15th, the National Stadium will rock.
I'm not going to a circus, I'm not going to a fair.
As Q West, Spectrum, and Starboys present Digicel Reggae Fest, the big show. Featuring for the first time in Grenada, Shabba Ranks.
Come around, reggae people starting now. I know me roots and culture.
Coffee.
Coffee come in like a raptor, and everybody get captured.
Romaine Virgo.
Baby, I wanna be sole provider.
Grants Morgan.
Have I shown?
Marcia Griffiths.
I shall sing as long as
Grenada's own Tamara Songbird, Akeem, and a special international guest. Tier 1 tickets are $120. Limited VIP $500. Includes reserved parking, a variety of food offerings, and premium drinks. Tickets available at box offices island-wide or online at gotofet.com. Digicel Reggae Fest. Saturday, April 15th, National Cricket Stadium. Sponsored by Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Island Style's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tiles to be had, with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tiles, store-wide. Buy all we have in a low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 15% off. Plus, get chip edge tiles for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandad or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
All right, viewers and listeners, welcome back to the conversation this morning. And as I hinted to you earlier, I'll be joined by no stranger. And when you see her face comes up on the television, you'd say, well, she's back in the business. Well, she has never really left the business. She is, a constant, a staple in the media industry in Grenada. It is a very good time for me to say, while she gets herself sorted out, I want to introduce that special guest this morning. It's a good time for me to say good morning to, right. Seems like she has it good, lovely. Good morning, Miss Shirma Wells. How are you?
Good morning, Gordon. I am good. I'm graced with the presence of the great I Am. Today is Holy Thursday, so let me greet you and the rest of your listeners and viewers. A happy Holy Thursday as we enter the Holy Week.
Lovely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I know you can literally see the smile on my face. Whenever I see Shirma, she brings a smile automatically. And,
I wonder why.
Well, I mean, I don't have a choice. I've got to say it. For most of us in the media, especially the younger ones who, mediocre practitioners and so forth.
What a way to describe.
Well, that's the wrong word.
Very humble this morning, my friend.
Yes. That's not the right word, as a matter of fact. But those of us who are just, we got into the media late, in the later part. Shirma has been, for those of you who don't know, Shirma has been like a mother to most of us. All right, the likes of myself, Irvin Simon. What's his name again? Michael Bascom, Thomas Moraine. Shirma has been a mother to us, and she has really played that role. So it's a pleasure to talk with Mommy this morning. All right, but this morning
You're trying to age me. You're trying to age me, my friend.
Mommy has nothing to do with age. Look at your looks. You're looking younger than I am. All right.
Oh my goodness, you're not easy,
All right. So this morning, Miss Wells is
never done.
Miss Wells is here to talk with us this morning on in her capacity as the CEO of Vidscope, and she is going to tell us about a workshop that is coming on shortly at the National Stadium on customer service. And that's really interesting because it's not so long ago I had a conversation. As a matter of fact, I made a reference to Rootsman Kelly's song a couple years back when he did that song about we need better customer service. So it's very interesting that you are coming up with that workshop now. So give us a backdrop as to what Vidscope is about and the intent and the cause for that oncoming workshop.
Well, let me first say it is not the first. There are a few folks who have been doing that. I know that my friend Eddie Frederick is engaged in a lot of that. As a matter of fact, he's right now doing something with GTA. You have Ponty Archibald who's done that as well, and I'm sure that there are other folks. Let me just reflect a little bit on Vidscope. Vidscope has been around since 1996. It is a media-oriented business. I own that business for a number of years now that I use basically for advertisement purposes, doing media work for various individuals. As I've retired recently, as folks would say, retired, that word retired is a hell of a word,
Definitely.
From one phase in life, I would say, I decided to put some of my training and expertise out there for folks who are interested. Just to give you a little background as to the rationale, most folks, as you just described, know me as a media person, and there are those who would have known me in culture for a number of years. However, just to say that I am also engage in the educational process in life. I hold a bachelor's degree in business communication and an MBA. I lectured as an adjunct lecturer at TAMCC for, I think, about 3 years. I taught the media fraternity who attended the classes there. I taught business communication, a bit of research. I did customer service as well. As a matter of fact, the tour operators for their certification through the GTA, that was one of the courses that they had to do, customer service training, which I lectured them on. So when I look back at what I have done and what I have achieved, I said, well, you know, it's a good time to pass on knowledge and information to folks who are interested, and understanding the call for people having better customer service. My first engagement is in customer service. However, as I reflected on it, it's the first engagement. Customer service is so important to us. And when we look at ourselves as a people, like I said to a lady the other day, it is embedded in us because all of us grew up in decent homes where we were taught certain things that now are, you know, not now are, but always been part of that process. For example, a smile, a good greeting when someone comes to your home, the way you treat them, saying thank you and saying please, and being concerned about others. So it's there in us. The problem that seemed to exist is practicing it, implementing the good habits that we would have grown up with as people. You know,
Okay.
if you meet anybody today, and if you ask them those questions, they will tell you in their homes how they live, how they grew up, what their parents taught them.
And it's important that you said that because I think hence the reason why whenever we get reviews, visitors who come here for the first time, they would say, oh, the people are so hospitable.
Well, we are very much so, you know, but the thing is, my friend, I think it goes back to, in a lot of instances in the workplace, understanding the importance of it, getting to understand it, getting to understand the value of it, and knowing why you should exercise good customer service. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that is where it is. You see, the individual believe that they are isolated within a space or a business, and that what they do would not affect the overall operations of the business and come right back to them. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to understand why it is important for you to always provide good customer service. Sam Walton, the man who, well, he's dead now, started or owned Walmart, who lots of us shop at. He always say his mantra is the customer is always right. And that has been a debatable topic for a very long time. But at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about that customer is always right. And the reason being, as he explained, the customer pays you, the boss, and everybody else in your organization.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Having
if you give that customer bad customer service, trust me, he's not going to be coming back to your store. And what would happen? There will be no sort of retention of your customer. You will have no referrals from that customer. As a matter of fact, that customer will drive 10 miles away to buy the same product from a place where there is better customer service.
I was saying that just the other day, Shirms, that, you know, sometimes you enter a business place and it appears to you that you're a bother to the employee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
that is simply because that employee does not understand that they are very much probably the strongest link in that business operation.
Good.
Probably the strongest link in that business operation
would be that employee, because point of contact.
Point of contact, the first impression, we hear about that all the time. I want to go back to the Walmart situation. If you go to a Walmart up to today in the United States, you will see that they're giving old people, something to do. Because when you enter their stores, there's someone there, obviously some retiree or older person who greets you. And sometimes they look at the bill when you're leaving to make sure you're okay.
Right.
And you say to yourself, that person is just there to make sure nobody steal or nobody whatever. But when you watch the individual, that's not the purpose. That person can't run down nobody. That's not a security officer.
Yes.
But they're there to greet you. I'll give you an example. I went into a store in Florida not too long ago, and on leaving, there's this little old man by the exit whilst you're checking to go out of I think it was Costco. And the gentleman started chatting with me, and there were all these brochures about kitchen and so on, refurbishing kitchen. And by the time he was finished with me, I left there with 5 brochures in my hand. I don't have no kitchen to refurbish. But the gentleman was so good.
Yes.
His customer service was par excellent,
Okay.
that he got me to go with these brochures that I literally didn't need.
But what could happen there?
So it could make the big difference.
Yeah, what could happen in that case? You can have the multiplier effect. You don't need it, but you'll pass it on to somebody. Somebody
I'll pass it on to somebody else. I'll say to the person, check it out when you go back to that store, whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, we are better off as a people if we provide great customer service, not only to our visitors, but to our locals as well.
Yeah.
Because we may be very well known for our hospitality, but we have to share it among ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So when I walk into a store, a guy said to me, he didn't call an organization. They called him. His bill was a bit overdue, and they called him, and he said, yes, I know, I'm coming by you, I'm coming. And the person said to him, oh, well, I'm glad you know. I'm talking about a major utility company,
Okay.
And he was in shock. And he said that to me recently. The person said, oh, I'm glad you know. Now, is that good customer service?
Of course not.
Not at all.
Of course not. So, Ms. Wells, what will be the basis for that workshop? What would be the course structure for that week of training?
Well, it's a one-day workshop.
1 day, okay.
A one-day workshop. It goes from 9 to 3 p.m. And we're looking at a number of areas of importance relative to customer service. Why is a key thing. Why it is you need to have good customer service. Yeah, we're looking at the commitment you ought to have where customer service is concerned. We're looking at how it reflects on your revenue and your job. Yeah, we're looking at the fact that what you should and shouldn't do in terms of customer service, how you should treat people, and also how you treat people with a difference, disability, whether they speak with an accent. Sometimes we have that problem. You hear the person say, the person is talking so bad, me and I no time with them. No. Whatever the case may be. But we're looking at that as well. We're looking at ensuring that at the end of the day, the participants would be leaving the workshop with tools that can help them to continue to practice. Because all well and good to have a workshop, but if you have nothing to give for them to go there and implement what they would have learned, and that's where the problem is. You probably hear companies say, oh, we've had workshops in customer service before, and it doesn't really make a difference. Again, if a company is going to have a workshop in customer service, it's important that that company ensures that they get their buck. They get bang for their buck. For example, you have to have someone who would be able to monitor these things, and whether it's on a monthly basis or every few months, to ensure that these practices are being adhered to. So we're going to be looking at what is customer service, also looking at the evolution of it, because over time things do change. People require much more now. We're living in a technological era, and what one would be looking for 10 years ago on a product, they're looking for something totally different. You'll be surprised because technology also would have enhanced that product or changed it. We have Wi-Fi, we have all sorts of things that are required now that wasn't there before.
Right.
Yeah. We're looking at rules of great customer service. The fact that you have to make a good impression is key. And what do customers expect? Customers expect a treat. They expect to be treated right. Yeah?
Okay.
Effective communication is also key as part of that workshop, because, of course, in order for you to provide that service, you ought to be able to communicate effectively. Yeah?
Okay.
The culture of commitment. And when we speak about the culture of commitment, you can't tell me that you're working in a place and you couldn't be bothered. You just simply want to get your pay at the end of the day. And, you're just according to them, moving along with the tide. And you know very little about your company, how it operates, the products. You can't tell nobody nothing. A guy said he walked into a place and he said, do you all have any, let's say, I'm just using something hypothetically, any fans? And the person say, sir, I don't know, I go have to check, and leave that customer just hanging there for the longest while without even coming back, And obviously the individual does not know that they don't have any fans, or if they have fans, what is your commitment to the operation that you're in? You're supposed to know about your products. You're supposed to know what is happening within that industry and what you have and what you don't have, There are also ethical issues that we're going to be looking at as well.
Ms. Wells, before you go further, right, I'd like to jot in here quickly. We're kind of running out of time, but I want to touch on this.
On my time, eh?
Yeah. Listen, with the advent of PBX nowadays, you call a company and it has to go through the PBX, and you get a runaround. Sometimes you stay on the line, you make a call for a particular person within a company, and you stay on the line for minutes, and all you hear at times is a beep, or either for this person press press 1 and press, and you get the is that, would you term that as good customer service with the technology?
It isn't, and it's unfortunate that has brought that to bear on us, because the companies seem no longer to have what you call a receptionist telephone individual who would, deal with that efficiently. It's all machine taking over, and what I think it has a lot to do with the programming of that particular machine. Because for good customer service, my friend, it tells you that you should not answer, let a phone ring more than once,
Right, yes.
Expert customer service. No, I'll tell you this. Many moons ago, I worked with Bell Canada, and I would have certainly learned a lot of customer service via that company. And the principle of phone is that you don't allow the phone to ring for more than 3 times. I worked as an international telephone operator, and in those days, where you go and look for your phone book, directory operator, yeah? And you are monitored for that as well. Now, don't allow the phone to ring more than 3 times. And that has been my life. I try to avoid my phone ringing more than 3 times, you know? So the habit has to be, you have to be practicing these things in order for it to become ingrained in you, and in order for you to be good at providing that service, yeah? Now, what I want to say before, I know you said you speak about time, this is just a start of VidScope in that light. We will also be offering training in public relations, media, and also business communication. Although this is an open workshop, persons interested in having our services we are more than happy to design workshops in those areas for various companies and organizations. As it relates to media, I've had quite a few requests for that, and that is going to entail a much longer process because, of course, we're going to be doing with presentation, we're going to be doing with voice training, we're going to also be looking at writing for the media, and public speaking and MCing. So that is going to be a longer journey once that is launched. So those are the things that are going to be happening. For folks who are interested in this workshop, you can send us an email at vidscope1@gmail.com. That's VIDSCOPE1.
The number or the word?
The number 1.
Okay.
At gmail.com. Or you can call me on 457-1990, 435-0277. I want to say this before I leave. Investing in yourself is important. Preparing yourself for the workforce that you may be entering or into is important. And one of the things I was very heartened about, I got 2 parents calling, wanting to register their children, 1 each, who's now at TAMCC in their last year. And funny enough, they both had the same comment to make. I don't know if they've been chatting with each other, that they want them to be prepared for the workforce to have an edge when they get out there, when they graduate. And that to me was very heartening. I see that there are parents out there who are interested in preparing their children for the future.
Ms. Wells,
the workshop is going to be at Kirani James Stadium, and it's on the 22nd of this month. Registration closes on the 17th, and the course is $450. The participants receive breakfast, lunch, and they get a certificate of participation at the end.
Okay. Could you quickly run back that telephone number?
457-1990, 435-0277. Yeah?
Okay.
I also want to say, Gordon, that this is a start of many things to come, because I will also be linking up with other partners who will offer areas of training like financial management, etc., marketing, etc., in time to come.
Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Wells, we definitely will be in touch. This is, I think it's a much needed initiative and much needed intervention, if you may ask, because I really did not want to ask that question, because I know you would have given me a straight answer as it relates to the level of customer service in Grenada today. So I think this is a very, very timely intervention, and I know that it will reap great fruits in the not too distant future. It has the power to revolutionize the whole customer service aspect of Grenada. So I wish you all the best, and you will be hearing from me shortly.
Thank you very much, Gordon. And to those of you out there who practice good customer service, kudos to you. And for those who are not, this is an opportunity for you to get on the train.
And
have a nice day.
And Mommy, you have to give me that formula to keep looking young like you.
It will cost you millions. Priceless it is.
I'll invest in that. Have a good day. Have a good day, Mom.
My dear.
All right, good. All right. Folks, I've been speaking there with Miss Shirma Wells. She is the CEO for VidScope, and she was telling us there about that training workshop that she has coming up later on this month. Please take advantage of it. And that has concluded the conversation this morning. So those of you who listened, there wasn't that many of us participating actively in the conversation. I think we only had about 2 callers this morning due to a little technical issue we were having here, and then the conversation. So we look forward to another one tomorrow. I will be with you tomorrow. I hope we can have a conversation tomorrow, being Good Friday. I know many of you will be at church or something, but I will be here with you tomorrow, should the good Lord spare our lives. So that's it for the conversation this morning. Bye-bye.